Welcome back. And the earlier said that this is the best month of the year where people are celebrating too many festivities. On top of them is the Christmas and New Year, and later in January it's going to be another Christmas workshops. Of course we have with us live over the phone Mr. Elhamy Zayat, our tourism expert. Good morning, Mr. Zayat. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you, sir.
Same to you.
Thank you so much. Celebrating Christmas and New Year in Egypt is a totally different experience, according to many visitors who came over. How do you define it?
First of all, it's an overall festivities for all the Egyptians. It's not related to religion. It's related to Egyptian tradition. We have been used to for the last few centuries to celebrate Christmas and New Year. So it's a good thing to be here. Secondly, unlike Europe, Christmas is a day where people go out. In Europe, it's a home festivity. People stay at home on the 24th and the 25th. In Egypt, people go out, and that makes a big difference. So many people come to Egypt to be able to go out and enjoy parties and sell songs, etc., etc. Thirdly, the weather. I mean, I think we have unbeatable weather during Christmas, and you see today it's so beautiful. And it's just in the middle of Christmas. Plus, people can bathe. Sharm or Gada, people can bathe now. It's not that cold. The water is fantastic. So there are so many reasons to celebrate Christmas in Egypt. And as a matter of fact, it's always a season where things are fully booked from foreigners, from Egyptians as well.
Right. How have celebrating Christmas and the festivities and the spirit of Christmas have developed to little changes over the years, I mean worldwide, so that people, instead of going to the mountains where they go skiing or they go to the usual stereotype places, they choose warmer places, different traditions, different environments and communities, and the same spirit, of course, is there. But talk to us about the development of celebrating Christmas.
Yes, but mind you, and this is an advantage to us and to our region, is that Europeans do not like to travel very far during Christmas. It's not a period of festivity where they are willing to go to Australia or to explore Argentina or to go somewhere else. Plus, the U.S., I don't think anybody would like to go now with the cold weather they are experiencing right now and people dying. So Christmas in our region, in Egypt, in Jordan, in Lebanon, I won't say in Lebanon right now because it's nonsense, but it is the right time for them to come over in our part of the world. And Egypt is enjoying a privileged position because we have beautiful weather. Christmas in Turkey, for instance, is no different from Europe because it's cold, very cold. If they want to stay cold, they can stay at home. So we have very, very many attractions. Plus, as I said, it's a feeling of festivities all over Egypt. You see the decoration, you see the shops, you see everything. It's really very interesting. Plus, for the Arab countries, of course, it's nearby, and a lot of them come to Egypt because there are many, many celebrations taking place here.
Since Christmas, take us into a flashback of stories of blessings by baby Jesus and Virgin Mary. So Egypt becomes an icon when it comes to celebrating Christmas, where the Holy Family took their trip of Savior by Egypt. I mean, Egypt was like an element of Savior to baby Jesus and his mom, the Blessed Sacred Virgin Mary, and of course the Holy Trip and the stops, the highlights of their stops and the stories and everything and the blessings and the safety and the haven they found in Egypt. That's why Egypt became an icon for celebrating Christmas and spending some time there at this time of the year.
Absolutely, and you are mainly talking about Christians, Orthodox Christians. more interested in our part of the world during these festivities. And of course, I do not believe that they will visit all the stops where the Holy Family have visited, because there are between 26 and 31 stops, depends on the story. But at least they can visit the highlights, which are in Cairo, old Cairo. They can see the Wadi Natrun, which is the part where they stayed. They can see Zagazig, because it's important, it's close to Cairo. You have to make an intelligent program for the visitors who come for this purpose, because they will not spend 30 days in Egypt, they will spend 8 to 10 days. So you have to give them the real highlights of that they want to see.
Also, we find tourists and visitors coming over, especially exclusively for Christmas, like people, for example, they go to Italy, to the Vatican, because it's one of the most important holy sites worldwide. There is also here in Egypt, the cathedral, which is the most important holy site in the Middle East. And is regarded as a sacred place. Even people come from all over Africa to take the blessings from the Pope over here. So explain to us how important is also that element in attracting visitors at this time of the year.
Absolutely. And you were very right in saying Africa. Yes, because we are nearby, and today, unlike in the past, there are ways and means of transportation to Egypt. Of course, we do not have direct flights from all over, but we have flights through other points in Africa. So it makes it attractive, because if you cannot come, then there is no point in promoting. But we can really travel to Egypt via air, because that's the only way coming into Egypt. And from Africa, there are some airlines that do service Africa very well and do service Egypt as well, so the people can come, and the prices are reasonable. We studied all this. They have very reasonable prices, because travel is always connected. Accessibility, how do you reach there, and price, of course, because people they don't have an indefinite number of dollars to spend. So we have both, plus the weather, as I'm saying, plus the cathedral. We don't have one cathedral, we have cathedrals, and that's important. And all of them have their relative importance in history, whether the main cathedral in Cairo, or people, for instance, the Russian or whatever is related to Slav, like Yugoslavia previously, they come for celebrating in Sharm el-Sheikh. And because we have made it a point, when we had a big Russian influence in Sharm el-Sheikh, we had a church that celebrated Christmas, the Eastern Christmas, which is the 7th of January, or even the Armenian Christmas, which is the 6th of January. And we are lucky, we are blessed, we have all kinds of denomination in Egypt. So whatever you are, whether you are Catholic, Armenian Catholic, Armenian Orthodox, you will find a place to celebrate Christmas and a big celebration.
Right. Also, besides the holy sites, and besides the cathedral, and besides the festivities over here that have a different essence and taste, there is also the gastronomy, or the Egyptian cuisine, which is very, but at the same time it's organic and healthy and nutritious and beautiful. We have that type of tourists who come over here also at this time of the year, where they could have some festivities and some tables that is really healthy and nice, where they can share it with their friends and people who are traveling with.
Yes, especially that we have a tradition, like in Lebanon, like in Turkey, is that we have mezze on the table, which means people can taste different plates. It's not associated with anything, except instead of ordering one single plate, they share many, many plates. And I'll tell you one thing. I have a friend who travels every year from Brazil to eat molokhia in Egypt in Christmas. I don't know why, but you see, there are some traditions that are formed over the years. He has been doing this for the last 20 years. So Egypt is attractive, yes. We have a lot of dishes, and the good thing is that we have dishes from all over the world. Only fool and maybe falafel later on were introduced. Falafel was introduced later on during the Fatimid, but not before. But the people have developed a liking for this kind of food, especially vegetarians. They love it and they come and eat it. So we have all varieties of food, whether continental, whether American, whether French, name it, we have it, and people come to enjoy the gastronomy.
Right. On that note, of course, Mr. Elhamy Zayat, our tourism expert, would like to thank you so much and wish you a happy new year. And by this, we come to the end of this edition of the Breakfast Show. Many thanks to all of you. Until we see you again, once again, tomorrow morning. That's a goodbye.